Hello students, this is Anjana. Welcomes you all in the Ved Model family. Today we are going to study your reader chapter, that is A Journey Through the Desert. And this chapter is the part of the unit The Dignity of Work. The dignity of work. All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. It is a quotation of Martin Luther King. It means all our hard work that uplifts humanity, has its own importance. In this section, warm-up section, the author wants to know who does the following for you, means who does this following work do for you. Can you name them? Who cooks your meal? Who does your laundry, means who washes your clothes? Who cleans your house? Who sweeps your classroom? Who cleans your washroom in school? Who guards your school? Choose one of the names you have written in the table above. Write it in the rectangular box given at the bottom of the page. Means one box that is given at the bottom, write that name. Means if you have selected the name guard, then imagine you are that person and answer these questions. Write your answers in the speech bubbles given below. First, how do the people you work for treat you? Means imagine you are a guard. Then give your answer. How do the people treat you? Then imagine you are a guard and give the answer of second question. Do you like what you do? And then why do you do it? Think of one thing you can do for this person to make his or her job easier. Also give the answer of this question. Try to give yourself. Then we will discuss. Now come to your chapter, that is A Journey Through the Desert. A Journey Through the Desert. In the story A Journey Through the Desert, Sudha Murthy is the writer of this story, explain how the stories told by Sudha Murthy brought about changes in the lives of Ram and Gopal. Means Ram and Gopal are the main characters in this story, and Sudha Murthy told them stories, and these stories brings about a big change in their life. Now, can listening to or reading stories influence our lives? Now, also author wants to ask you, can listening stories bring influence in our lives? Here is a touching story about the power of storytelling. Storytelling of Sudha Murthy. Till a few years back, I did not have a driver and used to drive everywhere myself. Now the author says, a few years back, she hasn't any driver and used to drive herself. The petrol station where I filled petrol from had a service station beside it. And the petrol station from where she filled petrol, there was a service station also. Some Saturdays I would take my car to that service station and stay there until it was serviced. Then she says some Saturdays she would take her car there for the service station. There were two boys, perhaps 15 years of age, who worked there. Two boys worked there. They were identical twins. They were twins. One was called Ram and the other Gopal. They were very poor and did not go to school, yet they could speak many languages. They didn't go to school, yet they could speak many languages. Though Bangalore, now called Bengaluru, is the capital of Karnataka, Kannada is not only the language spoken here. There are many people who have come from outside the state and settled in this beautiful city. Hence, Bangalore has become very cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan here means composed of people from many different regions or cultures. That's why it is called cosmopolitan. So many different regions peoples are there. These boys had met many people during their work at the station and so could speak Kannada. They met so many people, so they could speak Kannada, which was their mother tongue. And also Tamil, Telugu and Hindi, means they can speak Kannada, Tamil, Telugu and Hindi also. Ram and Gopal worked as errand boys. Errand boys, person whose jobs involves carrying messages. Person who carrying messages are called errand boys, erranders. Buying something, delivering goods. They were always very cheerful, everyone liked them. They remain always cheerful. The servicing of my car used to take about 2 hours. Over a period of time, I became friendly with them and they told me about their life. Now she's saying that the boys would bring a chair for me, for that author, and she would sit under the tree and read some books. Then after some time they became friends. They did not have a father. Both the boys didn't have father. Their mother worked as a laborer and their mother was an laborer. They stayed in a nearby slum with their uncle. Slum area, dirty street area, dirty place. They had studied up to class 4 but then had to drop out as they were too poor to continue. They had studied up to 4 but after that they couldn't continue their study. There was nobody who could guide and teach them at home. Though the salary at the service station was not much, they got free breakfast and lunch and sometimes small tips from the car owners. They had no fixed working hours. They came around 8 in the morning and went home only by 8 pm. Sunday was the only holiday they got. In spite of all the difficulties they faced, these kids were always smiling. Now the author says that in spite of all the difficulties, these kids were always remain smiling. They never said no or grumbled about any work they were told to do. They were never complained about any work. I have seen children in many well-off families with grumpy faces. Grumpy faces means unhappy faces, bad-tempered faces. Now the author said that he had seen so many children with bad-tempered faces and no happiness. If you ask them to do any work, they give you 100 of reasons to avoid it. I suppose happiness does not depend on the amount of money in the bank. I used to really like these two boys for their enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, a strong feeling of excitement or interest in doing something. Once in a while, I took snacks and some old shirts for them. They took the clothes with great joy as if they were made of silk. But I never saw them wear those clothes. Means so many times she gave them shirts but she never saw them to wear those shirts. When I asked, they said, "Madam, we always wear dirty clothes to work because at the station they become greasy, covered in a lot of oil." Once I took some storybooks for them, thinking they could read them at night. Now the author said that she took some storybooks for them, but so that they could read. After all, while other children of their age were studying in school and attending hockey and chess tournaments, these boys were slogging to make both hands meet. Slogging means working hard for earning their money. But when I gave the storybooks, their faces became pale. Their faces became dim. And for the first time ever, I saw a trace of unhappiness on their faces. She said that first time she saw unhappiness on their faces. They said, "Madam, it takes a lot of time for us to read as we are not used to reading." They said that we are not used to reading. Will you tell us a story? Then they said to her, "Will you tell us a story?" "How can I tell you the story here when you are working all the time?" Now she said to them, then how could she told them story? "We get some free time at about 4 o'clock. If you come then to have your car serviced, we can sit with you and listen to the story." Then they said that they have free time at about 4 o'clock. If she could be there at that time, then they can listen her story. Their 2 pairs of eyes were begging me for the stories and I could not say no. I remember how my own children always insisted I tell them stories at night. Now she said that she have felt them just like their children, her children. So it become a routine, the way in which you regularly do things and tell them stories on Saturday evenings. I went there even if my car did not need to be serviced. She even went there when there was no requirement of service. They were very attentive when I told my stories and waited eagerly for more. When she told her stories, then she waited for more stories. This went on for many months. Then I decided to get a driver and stop driving the car myself. Then the author decided to stop driving and she got a driver. My driver took the car for servicing after that, and I did not meet Ram and Gopal for a long time. Now she said that the driver took the car for service, so she didn't meet Ram and Gopal for a long time. Time flows like water, means time goes on. One day after almost a decade, my driver complained about a problem with the car. Then one day, her driver complained about the car. I told him to get it repaired. Then she told him that to get it repaired, my old car had outlived its life but was still working. Means his car became too old but it was still working. When my driver came back from the garage, he said after working on the car, the mechanic asked about you. Do you know the owner of Good Luck Garage? When her driver came, then she asked that did she know the owner of the garage? I have not heard the name. Is it a new garage? Then she told him that she haven't heard that name. It is relatively new. Relatively new means compared to other garage. This was new name, that Good Luck Garage. I always prefer to go to garages owned by youngsters. This young man is very sincere. Now, the driver said that this young man is very sincere. It seems he has known you for a long time. He asked if you were still teaching in the college. He even said that it was felt that he known you. I could not think of anyone I knew who could be owning the garage now. But the author says she couldn't think of anyone. Since my driver did not even know his name, I was unable to place him and assumed it was some old student of mine. Then she assumed that she was old student of hers, though since I teach computer science. But she was thinking that she teaches computer science. I could not figure out how this person had shifted to automobile engineering then. Later, when my driver told me a second time that the owner of the garage had asked about me, then she again told him that she was asking about me. I felt I should go and meet this man who took such keen interest in my welfare. Such keen interest means so much interested in my welfare, in my well-being. The next day I went to Good Luck Garage. It was a fairly modern garage and well equipped. Well equipped means provided with the things needed for service cars. All the equipments were there. There was a glass cabin where I assumed the owner was sitting. As soon as I entered, a handsome young man of blue overalls greeted me. He was holding a spanner and a screwdriver in his hand. She wrote that when she entered, a young man even greeted her, means welcomed her there, and he was holding a screwdriver and a spanner. These are the equipments of cars, means for the vehicles, for maintaining vehicles. Madam, please come and sit in the cabin. I shall wash my hands and join you in a minute. Then he said that please come and sit. I sat on the sofa in his office. It was a nice functional office. Functional, practical and useful without any decoration. The young man looked vaguely familiar to me. Vaguely means slightly. He feels that she knows about her. I knew I had met him somewhere but could not place him. She says that I feel that I met him but I could not recognize him. I wondered if I had taught this boy in pre-university. I wondered if she had taught this boy. At that time, boys are 16 or 17 years old. means at that time boys were 16 or 17 years old, adolescents with a lot of energy. Adolescents means teenagers. They were with a lot of energy. When I meet them after they have grown up, I often fail to recognize them because she had met them so many years ago. That's why she was not able to recognize them. Dear students, watch this video carefully and read your chapter up to page number 80 for making understand about this chapter, and remaining chapter I will explain you in next video, and try to understand it. Thank you and have a nice day.